Tonight, the Peoria Police Department is investigating a violent assault where a group attacked a 16-year-old. He was punched and kicked repeatedly while lying on the ground, and it was all caught on camera. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kadiba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. This is a story you'll only see on 12 News, and we want to tell you the images are disturbing. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live in studio with us. And Bianca, how is that teen doing?
Well, he's okay. He suffered a broken nose, but doctors told him his injuries could have been much worse had he not protected his head. We sat down with that teen and his mom, who we are not identifying in this story, and we want to warn you, the video of the assault is violent.
A 16-year-old West Valley teen on the ground, shielding his head as he is kicked and punched repeatedly.
I was just wanting to make sure I was protecting my face.
That's the voice of the victim seen on video, sitting alongside his mom to talk about the violent attack.
You could feel the hate in them, and it's only going to get worse if they don't get stopped.
It happened the night of April 18th. The 16-year-old said he and a small group of friends wanted to go camping near Lake Pleasant. They got there and started a bonfire when large groups began showing up. He said he was sitting on a truck bed when a girl near him began throwing up.
I was trying to comfort her by just patting her back.
Not thinking anything of it, he and his friend went back to their car when a group he didn't know came up to the door.
And the guys came up to the vehicle saying, "Hey, you touched her inappropriately."
The confusion heard in his voice.
No, I didn't.
Then punches are thrown as the assailants call him racial slurs. He's dragged out onto the ground. His body and head are kicked and stomped. Female voices in the background egging them on. After about a minute, they decided that was enough.
How many people would you say were in that area, either participating or watching?
There was around 20 people in the general area.
And that's what's the most shameful part of it all, is that you have so many people. This is a human life there.
The teen's mom then got a frantic call from her son.
At that point, I thought I was listening to my son die. I didn't know the extent of the injuries. He just said, "I'm bleeding out. I can't stop bleeding, Mom. I need help. I need help."
He eventually made it out of the area and home. They later went to the hospital where he learned he had a broken nose.
They're never going to be able to change and learn empathy and be able to be a good person unless they do face consequences.
Which is why she filed a report with Peoria Police, which has launched an investigation, already making one arrest. A 17-year-old male who has been booked on a long list of charges, including 2 counts of aggravated assault and unlawful imprisonment.
I want them to know that what they did was not okay. Whether you were the one throwing punches or not, you were still a participant in my son's attack.
The teen and his mom are grateful he's okay, knowing these violent group assaults have resulted in much worse. But they're concerned it will happen again if those responsible are not held accountable.
If they are listening or they're watching, I would hope that they would turn themselves in and be accountable for what you did. But my son did not deserve this.
And the county attorney's office said they have received a submittal for that 17-year-old who was already arrested. His case will remain in juvenile court. Peoria PD's investigation does remain open and very active as they look for those additional suspects. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. Some people in Cochise County have been forced to evacuate tonight due to a growing wildfire. The Stronghold fire is burning about 16 miles south of Cochise. The Department of Forestry and Fire Management says that it's grown to roughly 2,000 acres, and crews have yet to establish any containment. Homes west of Cochise Stronghold and south of Ironwood roads are being asked to leave. Meanwhile, all Stronghold Canyon area campgrounds and trailheads are closed.
A Valley man is behind bars tonight after police say he blew up a Tesla Cybertruck in Mesa this morning. It happened just before 1:30 a.m. at a Tesla service center near Southern and Sossaman. Mesa police say 35-year-old Ian Moses set the trucks on fire, the single truck rather, causing 2 separate explosions. Police also tell us that they saw Moses getting into a suspicious van in the area shortly after that and then took him into custody. Moses is currently facing 1 count of arson on a structure or property. But Mesa police say the ATF is also looking into potential federal charges as well.
New at 10, nearly 200 college-age students were cited for underage drinking at a Tempe bar just a mile away from ASU. Police telling 12 News that many of them had fake IDs and now all of them have been charged with misdemeanors. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us live at Tempe Tavern near Apache Boulevard and McClintock Drive. And Chase, is the bar still open tonight?
Caribe Tempe Tavern is still open, but that could possibly change in the future. It's currently under investigation by the state liquor department to see if it failed in any way in preventing the situation from happening. Last Thursday was a busy night for Tempe Tavern. The problem, police say, is that it was mostly people under 21 who were drinking.
This is something that needs to be taken serious.
This is video taken late that night showing the college-aged adults being questioned and eventually cited by police. Lieutenant Luis Zamudio with the State Department of Liquor and License Control said they were called out in a joint effort with Tempe Police to do a compliance check because they received several reports of people under legal drinking age coming here.
This is a complaint that was constantly being received by the Tempe Police Department.
At the end of the night, 173 people were apprehended.
In the last 3 years that I've been working with this agency, I have not seen a number this high.
165 were cited with misdemeanors, meaning they'll have to pay a fine and possibly do some time behind bars, but they were allowed to leave. However, 8 people were actually taken to jail. Police also said that a majority of the people faced an additional charge for having fake IDs that they used to get into the bar. The question is, how could workers not know they were fake?
Some of these identifications are really good. You really have to look into them.
Zamudio says bars may not have the time or the technology to verify if an ID is legitimate or not. Still, Tempe Tavern is now under investigation, where the state will interview bartenders and workers that night to see if all proper protocols were followed and no state laws were violated.
If they do their due diligence, they're going to be okay. But if it's something very obvious, that's where there can be some consequences to the licensee.
Now, earlier today, I did speak with a bartender inside Tempe Tavern asking to speak with the manager. I was told there was none available and to come back later. We did, and we were still not able to speak with a manager or the owners at this time. We have no statement from Tempe Tavern on the situation. We're live in Tempe. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. We're going to stay in Tempe tonight. The city announced today that it's installed traffic enforcement cameras at 14 intersections, which will soon start snapping pictures of speeders and red light runners. The city chose the intersections based on crash data collected over the last few years. The cameras will start taking pictures on May 7th. Then after a 30-day warning period, drivers will start getting tickets for $250.
Glendale police are also cracking down on speeding. The department is spending $600,000 on new radar equipment. All 150 Glendale police cars will be equipped with the new radar detectors mounted on the front and back of the car. Officials say the tech can measure speed regardless of where a car is. The upgrades will be complete by the end of the summer, so consider yourself warned.